I like. I like the Arians hiring. I think they got a good coach. I don't know that he wins with Jameis Winston because I don't believe in Jameis Winston. But I think they got a coach who has there's this, I talk about the bad impulses in conservatism among some organizations. There are good impulses in conservatism sometimes. Like, for example, hey, we've always won at the line of scrimmage, for example. So we need to have a good offensive line, even though the quarterbacks are getting the ball out quickly and all that stuff. And we still, those are, but when it's just like, we have a feeling that this guy gives us an old school feeling, let's do it. The Giants behave that way right now. I don't like it. Bruce Arians has a proven track record, but I don't think it's like a quote-unquote proven head coach simply because he's been around for a while. I think he's a good head coach. I do not believe ultimately he'll have success in Tampa Bay, but that's because I don't think that they have a quarterback who is built for ultimate success in this league.
First 3 seasons in Arizona, 10-6, 11-5, 13-3. Made the playoffs 2 of those years. Went to the NFC Championship game the year that Carolina went to the Super Bowl, shellacked them in the NFC Championship game in Carolina. Bruce Arians can coach. I like him a lot. I also like the fact that even though he's about 66 years of age, if I remember correctly, he really knows how to ingratiate himself with players. It seems to have the kind of relationship with the modern day era of players that you need to have. Having said that, while I'm not going to sit up here and knock it down and say it's a bad hire by any stretch because I think he's qualified and deserves an opportunity to be a head coach in this game, I'm not sure this is a slam dunk by any stretch of the imagination for Tampa. Number one, because Winston is there. Number two, because you had Carson Palmer in Arizona when you were quarterback in there. The year that you had Drew Stanton and Ryan Lidley, obviously your offense wasn't that great. Your last year in Arizona, with Carson Palmer still there, you had the 25th ranked offense, okay? 22 in yards allowed. Now, 3 of those 5 years you were there, your defense was top 10. So I'm looking at Tampa right now because I think that's the major problem with them. They were one of the worst defense in the league across the board, against the run, against the pass, in yards allowed, in points allowed. Tampa was just awful. Their offense was actually ranked 12th. Could it do better? Yes, but it could do a hell of a lot worse with the weapons that they have. So I think he's going to be a welcomed addition in that regard. I don't know what he's going to do defensively. It remains to be seen. And the biggest thing for me, the biggest hiccup for me, the biggest thing that gives me cause to pause, I'm not hiring a coach that goes out front and center and say, the only job I want is Cleveland. And then I'm Tampa, and I got to recruit a friend that's a manager for the Chicago Cubs and Joe Madden to talk you into taking this job. I'm not down with that. In other words, I need to know that you want to be here, okay? So, again, I'm not going to sit up there and just excoriate it. I'm not going to say it's bad because I know that Arians could coach. I know he knows the NFL. I know he knows football. I know he's relatable for some reason to the modern-day player. But, again, those things give me cause to pause. What you're going to do on the defensive side of the ball, and also the fact that you said it flat out. You wasn't interested in any job other than Cleveland. That gives me cause to pause.
I think this is a slam dunk hire. Slam dunk hire. Here's why. A couple of reasons. Number one, when you speak about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their coaching staff, they hired Todd Bowles. Okay,
Yes.
Todd Bowles, to me, might be the most important hire on that staff.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah,
Todd
good
Bowles.
point. Good point.
I think he's an excellent defensive coordinator, regardless of what you thought about the job he did with the Jets. Excellent defensive coordinator. But more importantly, you bring in Bruce Arians, and the reason why you bring him in is because of Jameis Winston. Okay, Jameis Winston is an immensely talented guy. The problem with Jameis Winston, he's reckless with the football, whether it's been fumbles or interceptions, okay? Bruce Arians has coached some of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, whether we talk about Peyton Manning, Big Ben, Carson Palmer. This guy has a pedigree of getting the most out of the quarterback at the quarterback position.
He also has a relationship with Jameis.
He
came to his camps for years.
Right. He has a prior
Yeah.
relationship with Jameis. So I think the fit for Tampa Bay is a really, really good fit for them.
Let me ask you this. If he doesn't succeed with Jameis, is that the end of Jameis as a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Probably.
I think it would. That would be a huge hit for Jameis.
I want to ask one thing though, you guys, because I thought Jameis was already done. So I find this more surprising, not the Arians hiring, but trying to still develop and believing in Jameis.
No, the
organization is staying with him. That's more
They publicly came out and said they would.
I know. That's more baffling to me.
Listen, all Phil stuff aside, We know the organization wants to stay with Jameis Winston, so that's why I think that the Bruce Arians hire is good. It's good for this organization.
Here's the only problem that I have with everything that y'all just said, because y'all applaud the fact that Jameis Winston has a relationship with Bruce Arians. My problem is he supposedly had a relationship with Dirk Cutter. How'd that work out? I mean, so
yeah, but you know what?
At some point in time, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it can't work and Bruce Arians can't make it work, because we know he can. What I'm saying is that at some point in time, it can't be about the personal relationship you have with the. Maybe you don't need to have a personal relationship with him. Maybe what you need to do is sit back and say, look, I'm going to get your behind up out of here. You don't perform. You know you could play better than this. Maybe that's what you need to be. How you need to be with him.
But you know, here's a problem. Here's what the problem that the Tampa Bay Bucs ran into.
Okay.
They had Dirk Cutter as the OC.
Yep.
And Jameis Winston had some success. And then they elevated him to the head coach.
Bruce Arians is a head coach.
He's the head coach, similar to what the Giants did with what's his name?
With the defensive coordinator? No, the Giants didn't do it with the defensive
coordinator. Under Tom Coughlin. I can't.
McAdoo?
McAdoo. How they elevated McAdoo to head coach didn't work out. This is a totally different animal with Bruce Arians, who's had a lot of success as a head coach in this league.
Good point.